What I'm going to try to do this morning is reframe explosive behavior. And I've talked about this really from the start of doing self-reg. And Claudio Moschella, did I say your last name right, Claudio? Yes, you did. So Claudio sent me this, and it's really my topic for today, and I adore this. Susan was kind of puzzled, like, why do you like it so much? This is a painting that Claudio's teachers, the teachers did it for you, right? The behavioral teaching assistants at a school in Peel. So how come I thought this was so great? Well, I mean, the quote is fabulous. But it's the image. And partly the reason I like the image so much is I have a dock just like this, and I sit just like that. So, okay, that's this obvious emotional attachment to it. But what I really liked about it is I saw this as a picture of a kid who had explosive behaviors. A kid who knows now what to do. Now he's a young adult. And he knows what to do when he's starting to lose control. He knows how to bring himself back. And for me, this was a picture of the possibilities, the aspirations that we have when we're working on a child with this as an issue. When I started to talk about this, I was doing it in Toronto, and the common response was, well, self-reg is really just another way of managing, right? Self-reg is a better way. If you understand the kid, you can manage that kid better. And it's incredibly hard to see the sort of disjuncture, the distinction that this is supposed to make between understanding versus managing. Because when you're managing, you don't see the kid. You just see the problem. You just see that behavior. And I've done this for so long now, I know what happens to those kids who we don't see, who we only try to manage. I know where they end up. I know with certainty, near certainty, where they're going to end up. And believe me, it is not sitting at the end of a dock meditating or regrouping or whatever. And I have some friends here who work with these working communities where we know what happens to these kids. We know that this trajectory gets worse and worse. And it doesn't have to be. And that's why we do this. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to change a trajectory. We're not trying to fix a problem. We're not trying to cure a disorder. All we're trying to do is change the trajectory that child is on. And so for that change to occur, and I'm going to explain all this, like I'll go into the theory itself, but for that change to occur, it has to be the kid who becomes the agent of that change. We have all these words that we use, like we're going to empower the child. Or the point is, it has to be something internal, not something external. When it's managing, it's an external relationship with that kid. The kid himself is he doesn't see a different pathway ahead for him. He exemplifies a fixed mindset. I think I can safely say, and Sonia can correct me if this is wrong, but I would say that at our institute, at Mary, every single kid had this as a problem. I don't think we had any who didn't have that as a problem. And when I say every kid, so Sonia was only involved in the little guys, but we were also seeing teens. They had this as a problem. Every single one of them had explosive behavior as an issue. What's more, every parent had it as an issue. Every teacher had it as an issue. Is there truly someone in this room who's never had an explosive behavior? I know it's not you. Okay, let's assume that everyone in this room is human. So how did you feel after you exploded? Not good. So you're upset with yourself and you don't understand, how did I lose control? And that's not what I wanted to happen. And you're filled with not just recrimination, but you're drained. It's an icky feeling. That's how these kids feel. These kids do not want to lose control, do not understand why they've lost control, don't know how to prevent this from happening again, don't have any clue why this is happening. All they know is that they're in trouble. And they've gone through their life, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I could be talking about a 3-year-old, I could be talking about a 15-year-old. They've gone through their life and they have consistently been scolded, punished. They've had the adults in their world reinforce the message that if they can't control themselves, they will end up in trouble. And they end up in trouble. And that trouble may be social, it may be internalizing, the trouble may be depression or anxiety, but they will end up in trouble. All of them. So at some point, you have to ask yourself, this is clearly not working. Is there another way to, instead of entrenching the child on this trajectory, we want to change this trajectory? Okay?